Love Live. Elliot Granger had always found solace in the flickering images of classic cinema. As the owner of the Silver Screen, a quaint independent theater nestled in the heart of San Francisco, he dedicated his life to preserving the magic of film. His days were filled with the hum of projectors and the scent of aged celluloid, his nights with the company of characters from a bygone era. At 52, Elliot was a relic himself, a man out of time, clinging to the golden age of Hollywood. His theater was a sanctuary for fellow enthusiasts, a place where stories were told not through pixels, but through the grainy texture of film. On slow evenings, Elliot would sit in the projection booth, sipping bourbon from a coffee mug, watching scenes he could recite by heart. Casablanca, Vertigo, Lawrence of Arabia. He spoke to them as old friends, mouthing the dialogue, flinching at every cigarette lit in black and white glory. There were nights when he felt the ache of solitude more acutely. He'd been married once, briefly, but his love for cinema had eclipsed everything else. Relationships required compromise. Films did not. That night, as the rain pattered on the theater's marquee and the apartment played to a crowd of 7, Elliot leaned against the balcony railing and wondered if anyone else still felt the way he did about the art of storytelling. Across the city, 24-year-old Maya Lin was adjusting her ring light. A perfectionist in aesthetics and timing, she was planning the next installment in her Story in 60 series, where she condensed classic literary plots into minute-long videos filled with fast cuts, snappy narration, and visual flair. Her apartment was a curated chaos of camera equipment, thrifted props, and half-eaten sushi rolls. Her cat, Fellini, named more out of irony than homage, meowed impatiently as Maya choreographed a camera move using her phone and a rotating stand. Maya viewed storytelling as an evolving art form, one that adapted to the times and the mediums available. To her, a well-crafted 60-second video could evoke as much emotion as a 2-hour film. And her audience agreed. She had 500,000 followers and sponsors lined up for her next series, yet she felt something was missing. She craved depth, substance, something that didn't vanish with the next scroll. Her best friend Ria often teased her, "You want the romance of a slow burn, but keep playing with fireworks." That night, tired of editing, Maya slipped on her raincoat and wandered into the wet streets, looking for distraction. She found herself outside a dimly lit theater she hadn't noticed before. The Silver Screen. Maya ducked into the theater, shaking water from her coat, and was greeted by the scent of popcorn and thyme. The place felt like a portal. She stood in the lobby, transfixed by the vintage posters and the Art Deco trim. Elliot emerged from behind the ticket counter, a man with salt and pepper hair and tired eyes that lit up with curiosity. Maya smiled politely, caught in the rain. "Or maybe fate," she said. He chuckled, handing her a ticket. "You're just in time for the last act." She settled into the red velvet seat as Jack Lemmon made his final confession. The film ended, lights dimmed, and she clapped softly. Elliot watched her from the balcony, intrigued by her presence. When she lingered in the lobby, he approached. "First time here? First time seeing a movie that didn't autoplay the next one." They laughed and the ice broke. She told him about her channel. He told her about the theater. Their conversation stretched into the night. There was banter, teasing, and flickers of something unspoken. Before she left, Maya leaned in and kissed his cheek. "I might come back. You feel like a good story." Over the weeks, Maya returned again and again. She brought friends, then came alone. After a month, she asked Elliot if she could shoot a short video in the theater. He hesitated, then agreed. That day, as Maya set up a shot with vintage reels and Elliot peeked over her shoulder, their arms touched, then lingered. She looked up, eyes wide, and he kissed her. Slow, unsure, electric. Their relationship blossomed with a quiet intensity. They stayed up late debating Kurosawa versus creators, laughter bubbling over glasses of wine. She taught him how to edit clips on her laptop. He showed her how to splice real film. Elliot was cautious, still haunted by past regrets. Maya was impulsive, unafraid to push boundaries. Their bodies found rhythm quickly, but emotionally they danced around each other. One night in the projection booth, she stripped down to her camisole, laying against the film canisters. "Let's make a memory," she whispered. Under the hum of reels and moonlight through dusty windows, they gave in to the kind of passion that feels like cinema, raw, aching, timeless. As their work on the documentary intensified, so did their conflicts. Elliot wanted stillness, patience. Maya wanted momentum. He critiqued her use of filters. She mocked his disdain for smartphones. Their arguments turned sharp. "You want the world to freeze in 1955, she snapped. "But it's not going to." He fired back, "You want emotion in 30 seconds. Life isn't a loopable soundbite." After a particularly tense night, Maya stormed out. Elliot stayed behind, watching a reel unspool on its own. Days passed, neither called. When Maya returned, she didn't speak, just placed her phone on the table, hit play, and showed him a video. A montage of their moments, set to a slow jazz track. "We're not the same," she said softly, "but we make something beautiful." He nodded, eyes glistening. "We do." They kissed deeper this time, like a vow, and later they tangled in bed, shadows from the projector dancing over their skin. They premiered their documentary at the silver screen, projecting it on the big screen and streaming it online simultaneously. It was Elliot's first concession to her world, her homage to his. The film was raw and poetic, intercutting Maya's sharp edits with Elliot's lingering frames. A love letter to the many forms of storytelling. The crowd was a mix of old-school cinephiles and Gen Z vloggers. During the post-screening Q&A, an older woman asked how they managed to collaborate so well, despite their generational gap. Maya leaned into the mic. "We argue a lot. And sometimes the sex is the only way to shut each other up." The room laughed, but Elliot took her hand and added, "We respect each other's passions, even when we don't understand them." The applause was thunderous. For the first time in his life, Elliot didn't feel like a remnant. He felt present, relevant. After the crowd dispersed, they returned to the projection booth. The glow of the projector cast soft shadows across the room. Maya sat on the edge of the old wooden desk, her dress slipping slightly from one shoulder. "You looked good up there," she whispered, tracing his hand with hers. "So did you, like you belonged in both worlds." She kissed him slowly, tenderly, then with growing urgency. He lifted her onto the desk, the reels clattering softly behind them. Clothes came off in pieces, a jacket draped over a chair, her tights hanging from the door handle. The moment stretched, unhurried, both of them savoring the sensation of closeness, of convergence. They made love not just with their bodies, but with every conversation they'd ever had, every debate, every compromise. When it was over, they lay there in silence, the distant hum of the theater below cradling them like a lullaby. Later that night, wrapped in a blanket and sharing a cigarette, Maya asked, "Do you think this, us, has an ending?" Elliot looked at her, older eyes softened by candlelight. "Every story does, but maybe we get to choose what kind." She rested her head on his chest. "Maybe we're a series, with new episodes, different styles, evolving formats. Maybe," he said, "or maybe we're an unfinished film reel, and no one's written the final scene yet." They didn't say anything for a long time. Outside, the city pulsed with life. Somewhere a phone buzzed with a new video. Somewhere else a reel of film clicked into place. They held each other, both acutely aware that they were somewhere between fade to black and to be continued.